Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy joins us now. And Alana, that was a Cat 5 storm. It weakened a bit to Cat 4, but still, as you saw there, incredibly dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous, and a Category 5 storm in July. That's only happened one other time. So this is a historic storm now that will go down in history. And we're talking about ocean temperatures here. Sea surface temperatures, guys, are so much warmer than they typically are. We've talked about how unprecedented that is, but the warmth that we're seeing is typically what we see during peak hurricane season in the Atlantic. So it's acting like a September storm, and here we are at the beginning of the season in July. So your heart breaks for all of those impacted, but unfortunately, what's frightening is there could be a very, very active season ahead of us. All right, a little closer to home. We're not expecting to see tropical moisture. We actually stay dry. Sometimes we'll see that in the form of the monsoon, but dry conditions ahead. And as you take a look, Lily Bates caught this one at Farmington, and I feel like this is what our temperatures did today. They dropped. Also, the white roller coaster is just iconic, but we saw temperatures running below average. Great drone video coming from Scott where you can see the clear skies. We had that front come through yesterday. It brought a tiny bit of moisture, but it opened the door for cooler temperatures in the northern half of the state. We soaked that in, and we're going to actually hold on to that for a little while, and we'll talk about the reason why. Our northwesterly flow in the last few hours has become a little more westerly, which is why tomorrow we'll start to see the warm up, but it doesn't stay that way. A trailing system is on the way. Great shot of the sunset with those clear skies. Meg, this was such a pretty one. Great colors, amazing shadows. It was just a nice sunset. We didn't have much in the way of cloud cover, and get used to that because as we head towards the 4th of July, we're expecting clear skies. 80s today, topped out at 84 in Salt Lake. 91 is the average high. 80s and 90s on the eastern side of the state. 103 in St. George. It's July 2nd, and these are really, really beautiful temperatures. Now, they don't stay this way. That high summer heat, it's coming, it's just not coming tomorrow or for the 4th in northern Utah. 70s as we close out the show. We'll see temperatures bottoming out in the low to mid 60s along the Wasatch Front with our clear conditions. We're off to the races tomorrow by 9 a.m., 70 degrees. We're going to warm things up, but it doesn't stay warm. And that's because we get a front coming through. As we look at those fire alerts, I showed them to you earlier so you could know that they're going into effect at noon. The reason we're going to see this is because our northwest winds are going to pick up, telling you now that that cold front is going to bring some enhanced gap winds to the swell as well as south central Utah. I expect this eastern Uinta Basin fire weather watch to also be upgraded for tomorrow to a red flag warning. The front is coming from a system that stays to the north. Our big picture kind of shows us that. It's going to move on through. It's going to moderate temperatures for the Wasatch Front for the 4th of July. Unfortunately, the heat hangs on in the south. You see that high pressure? It is knocking on the door, and that is a very large ridge, folks. So as we get through that front tomorrow, that high starts to take over, and it's not just Utah that's going to be impacted. This is a large ridge that's going to take over the western United States. Our temperatures will start to climb, and we're going to get closer to that July heat that we're used to in the Beehive State as those numbers want to climb towards triple digits. The south stays above average with triple digits in the forecast for the next 7 days. There's that front on the move on the future cast. Comes on through, moisture starved. We don't get storms with it, but we will get some cooler air, but it also enhances the winds. Now, that ridge of high pressure acts as a storm block, which is why you're not going to see any moisture in the Beehive State, not tomorrow, not the next day, but for the extended period here, that ridge is really going to be the dominating factor, the key feature of the weather story. We get to average by Saturday along the Wasatch Front, then jump above it on Sunday. Red hot in the south where we stay well above average. We're talking maybe 10 degrees above seasonal norms. In St. George, the average this time of year is 101. So that'll tell you just how hot it's going to get. Temperature outlook for the long range here, we're going to step it back. So the Beehive State expecting way above average warmth, but you notice that's the western United States as we trek through the holiday and into next week. That's the 6 to 10 day outlook. Dry conditions are going to be here for a moment. 80s and a few 90s popping up towards Provo and Vernal tomorrow, 100 in Moab, 106 in St. George. I tried to prep you for it. Here comes the heat. 109 for the 4th of July in southern Utah, and we stay well above that by Tuesday, 113. Very dry conditions. The heat is on. This is 10 degrees above seasonal norms and then some. So we look at the 4th of July forecast. A lot of people taking off Thursday and Friday, and you're going to notice those temperatures climbing from Thursday to Friday and the heat holding on in the south. Let's look at the Wasatch Front. We get those numbers in the 80s Sort of love the 80s, not just like hair metal bands and Madonna and Prince. I'm like all about the 80s temperatures, and then turn to the 90s. There's that triple digit heat. The warm up is coming. The 4th of July looks lovely in northern Utah. I feel bad for the folks in the south. This is the time of year where we see that extreme heat, and that is really going to build. Yeah.
Get ready for it. Prepare now. Yeah.
Popsicles, pools, air conditioning. You got to just do it all to get through these summer months.